Guys, and welcome back to another video, and today to take a quick look at the new update to the Android TV OS Oreo. So a couple months ago, the NVIDIA Shield rolled out the update to some users, and then they hold it back because they found some issues and so on and so forth. You can read more about that on the web, but just a couple of days ago they released to everyone, including myself and probably you on that side of the screen. Now the same happened to the Xiaomi MiBox just a couple of days ago. I did update both of them. Now human beings have a resistance to change, and doing my part, I only updated one NVIDIA Shield TV, the upstairs one. It's still on the older version, and I also updated the Xiaomi MiBox. And right here we are going to take a look at the user interface or UI, and so that you can decide for yourself if you want to change it or upgrade it right now or wait for a couple of weeks. Now in terms of the upgrade itself, in terms of the NVIDIA Shield TV, we will see on the main screen. We just need to press that button and it will update. In terms of the MiBox, if you have that particular box, then you will need to go to the settings, update, and on right over there you will find the option to download, restart the machine and everything. Now there are some users that had a few issues. If you search on the web you will find that info. I didn't have any issues at all, as you may see by the images. Now we are just using this system for a couple of days, so I've got my opinion, my feedback, which I will share with you in just a few moments, but I haven't used it in depth, so I'm not really sure if there are any bugs here or there. So hopefully if you have any issue or any problem or anything that you are really happy with it, just leave down below in the comment section so that the community can learn with everyone's experience. Now looking at the interface, what we can see right over here, the main change that they did is that in the past we were very focused on apps, and now they want us to focus on content. Now I can understand this line of thought, and I do believe that it has a lot of potential. The only thing that holds me back a little bit at this moment is that not all the apps are ready. So for the best experience we will need to wait a little bit longer to give time to the app developers to make them optimized for this particular system. So that's one of the things that I would say, if you want to wait, then it's not a big deal. Moving ahead to the screen right over here, the first row we will find the apps row. Now the first row and the second one, we will not be able to move them around. They will stay right over here. One thing that I would love to have is the option to use the old UI and the new UI, which is not possible, but that's the way things go. Now here I would like to show you two things, one of which is that we can add more apps just by pressing that button, which I don't find it very friendly. I will have to browse down, and if we have a lot of apps it will be, I don't know, not very friendly. But there is a second option which I prefer, which is if I press the home button and if I hold it, I will see this screen right over here where I can go directly to the Play Store for more apps, or I can go to the Play Store for games. But I can also go to any app right over here, and for example Prime, if I press and hold, I have the option to add to favorites, and if I go back right now, then it will show on the favorites tab, which will help. So here I can also hold the button and I can move it if I want to have it in first place, for example. But this is actually an app that I don't use, so I can just hold and then I can remove from the favorites. So in here we have a lot of things that we can do to have our favorite apps right over here. Now one of the things that you already saw is that if I don't want to have a lot of apps, the best way to go directly to an app is just to go to the home button, leave it for a few seconds, and then I can choose any app that I want to play and just press the button and go to that app. So this is not a bad option at all, and this is the reason that I would say if you want to update and get used to it, go for it, because in terms of the apps, which is the way that we have seen this kind of device so far, we will have this option on the first row, which is not a bad idea at all. On the past we had the suggestions on top and then the apps on the bottom, but right now we have the apps on the top, which make it not bad at all. Now on the second row we have the play next, and this is something new, similar to the suggestions that we had on the past. We cannot remove this line, by the way. Either we like it or we hate it, but we'll need to stick with it so far. And what will happen is that the Android TV OS, in this particular case Oreo, will learn what we are watching, and it will place it right over here, but I can also do it myself. If I want to go to any show, of course, only supported apps, and that's one of the reasons that hopefully developers will be able to make those apps compatible with this system. So if I go to any show right over here, for example TED, and if I find something that I want to watch later, I can just press and hold, and then it will give me the option to add to playlist, and there we go. If I go back to the playlist, or play next to be more accurate, that it is the show that I'll be watching next. So it works automatically and manually. Then one thing that I would like to show you guys is that we will find these rows, which basically are apps, and this is one of the things that they targeted. They want us to see the content and not the app. So in this particular case on Plex, I'm watching the content itself. The same with Netflix. By the way, Netflix I cannot at this moment add to the playlist. It gives me a blank option, so no option to add to the play next, not the playlist, the play next. So things that need to be improved. Now, one thing that I would like to show here is that we can actually change the order that we want to have these apps. So for example, if I want to have Plex on top, I can just move it, but the maximum is beneath the play next row. I can move it down and I can move it upwards and leave it where it is. For example, if I want to remove something, I can. For example, if I want to remove the Google Play Movies, I can just press the button and it will remove. And of course, we can just go right over here at the bottom and customize the channels. And as you can see, all these channels right over here are the ones that at this moment are optimized for this system. I have more apps installed, which you already seen when I did open my app drawer, but they are not optimized for the system, so they will not work the way that it's intended. We will need to wait for that to work. One more thing that I would like to show is that if I don't press the back button, it will take me to the settings, and where I have the settings, and we are not going to discuss settings right now. And that's basically about it in terms of the UI and navigation. I don't find it difficult playing around with it for 2 days. It was a bit of a shock on the first day, I must be honest, but I'm getting used to it, and it's the human being. We are resistant to change. I do believe that the intention is good. We just need to wait so that the apps are optimized, and we will have all the applications working with this new system, which hopefully will give us a best experience. And guys, this is it. Please leave your feedback down below, your experiences, so that we can have a great discussion right over here as usual. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget that usual thumbs up as well. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.